We want bike lanes that kids and people bringing their kids to school can actually use, not just paint on the ground.
So we have been holding some internal meetings with operations and maintenance staff about protected bike lanes. There are some things that were brought up as concerns. There's snow handling. There's sweeping Jane that you just brought up. We did meet with emergency services, and they brought up some concerns with access. So it's still on the table. We're going to ask our consultant, HDR, on the project. They have national experts that design multimodal facilities, and we're going to be asking them to help put that together.
And I know that there's a desire for an east-west protected bike corridor, and there's a desire for a north-south dedicated protected bike corridor. We're trying to figure out what the corridors should be and where they should be. But there are things like Amazon deliveries and garbage pickup, and during construction, where how do you do traffic control to put a Vector truck when there's a single lane? Functions of that corridor. We've got utilities in there. There's lots of things to consider, and so we may come with a recommendation that it's not protected bike lanes. I don't know yet. We haven't finalized it. We're evaluating it. But if we come forward with a recommendation to not have protected bike lanes, it's because we think when we weigh all of the things together, we think that's the right recommendation, right? It's not because we hate protected bike lanes, that protected bike lanes are terrible, that we don't like bike riders. We have to weigh all of those things, but it might be paint, or it might be a double paint line, or it might be candlesticks, or it might be a curb, but we need to evaluate it and figure it out, and then be allowed the opportunity to make a recommendation. So I think in fairness, our recommendation may not be for protected bike lanes, but it might be. We have to get to the finish line of that evaluation. And then if there's a policy decision after that, we don't care that you don't recommend it, go put protected bike lanes in. And at the end of it, if there's a policy decision, then the council can make a policy decision. And I think that's kind of where we are. So.
We're going after a paradigm shift. And we want to be a fully multimodal city, right? And there are a lot of us. And I think the majority of council right now. Whether that'll stay that way, I don't know, but I think that's where the culture is going. Sure. And I support it as I think pretty much the entire council does. You know what? Multimodal and safe bike lanes are a priority for us. We've heard you loud and clear. And we're going to give those to you if we possibly can.
That whole metric of how.
And there's got to be other cities that have really great bike networks and protected bike lanes Portland gets snow. They do. My daughter tells me. I don't know. There's got to be Vancouver. We were in Vancouver or Victoria. That was great.